parents, it's really important that we listen to our kids. We want them to listen to us, and it's only right that we listen to them. Not only that, when we actually listen, we hear things that are important, things we might have missed if we wanted to give our opinion beforehand, before we heard the kid out. Listen to your children.
Have you come to any major decision yet about your prom dress?
Mm-hmm. I think it's got to be that long red one with the sequins that we saw at the window at Alexander's.
The red one? You can't be I thought you were debating between the two light blue ones.
Mom, I just can't show up in some baby color. Not after that last dance. Look, Mom, I know it's $15 more, but I'll figure something out. Mom, you should have seen Shane's outfit. I mean, it was like this skin-tight black slinky thing with a scarlet rose over one of her boobs. It was strapless. I mean, the girl thinks she's Jane Seymour or something. Please. I don't even know why I bothered to show up at all.
Oh, darling.
Well, I mean, this time she and Katie are wearing floor-length 50s style dresses. I mean, they're telling everyone that they sold their old dance dresses to that thrift shop on 2nd. I mean, they would be caught dead in the same thing twice. And yesterday, Katie shows up wearing this jacket that's in Mademoiselle this month.
Oh, my.
And I mean, you know, Todd Walton, he's like this hunk. I mean, he acts like such a jerk every time they come to school wearing all their expensive stuff. I mean, you know, he used to try to walk with me between biology and PE. And then just like overnight, he just starts acting all standoffish. Mm. He and Shane were talking to Annette Roberts. And Shane goes, "Didn't you wear that same exact outfit on Monday, Annette?" Can you believe that? Mm. I mean, like, Katie and Lynn and Kevin, that whole crowd, they were standing right there when she said it. I mean, Mom, the two of them are making such a big deal about who's wearing what to this dance. I mean, they can be, you know, they can be jerks and stuff, but everybody listens to them. Mom, I just don't want to look gross.
Well, let's make no bones about it. This mother totally disapproves of this red dress. It's too low cut, almost backless, and entirely too sophisticated. She'd rather die than see her daughter dressed up like some lady of the evening. But if she'd said that right away instead of lending an ear, well, she might never have known about her daughter's anxiety. She might never have been privy to the peer pressure that affects the choices her daughter makes. And there's another valuable lesson here. A child who is allowed to be heard is more likely to be a child who will listen. So, now that she understands her daughter's motivation, the mother can help her choose a more appropriate dress that will make them both happy.
In adolescence, that's the beginning of when children really learn about interpersonal pain and how not to run from it and how to deal with it, how to accept it. And when they also learn how to heal their hurts. And as parents, we need to allow that process. We need to allow our children to heal their hurts, not to avoid them, not to run away from them. We need to love them in their pain and love them as they try to heal themselves and teach them how to do that by showing them that ourselves. And when we do that, we wind up making kids a lot more resilient to the pressures we've been talking about.
How do you, as an adult, cope with your problems? When the going gets rough at work, do you step into the bathroom for a little nicotine? Or at the end of a bad day, do you head home to your family in the cocktail shaker? Or maybe you have other tricks up your sleeve that help smooth those ruffled feathers. Whatever the case, and this is the single most important piece of information we can give you, your child will follow the example set for him by his role models. Your kid will pick up your habits if he hasn't already. Now, in this last scene, we're going to hear about some healthy ways to deal with stress. We call them coping skills. And if you practice them, you can teach them to your child.
You know, when you use drugs, it hurts me. It scares me. makes me sad, and it makes me mad. I understand when you say your life is a hassle. I really do. Because I have those same feelings. Maybe they're about different things, but they are the same feelings. Fear, worry, desperation, unhappiness. Problems don't go away just because you become an adult.
Yeah, but you have no idea how much I hate that school. I mean, Dr. Young, forget his class. I mean, nothing is ever good enough for him. I mean, sometimes I just think he hates everything, so we'll try harder. But it doesn't make me try harder. It just makes me want to give up and forget everything. It's a total drag, Mom.
It seems really unfair that you have to feel hurt, that you have to have any bad experiences when you're so young and vulnerable. But that is part of growing up. I mean, it's part of learning. And it's important that you experience everything with a clear head now so that you can handle being an adult later. I go through pure hell some days at the office. I go through some days when my ego is so battered, when I feel about this big, when I can hardly hold my head up and I want to murder my boss, but I can't. So what I do is I take slow, deep breaths. I take long walks to the water cooler. I take the stairs instead of the elevator. Anything that I can do to keep my temper in check, because otherwise I'd lose my job, and I can't afford to do that. I have a big responsibility to this family. You want to talk about fear? I wake up sometimes at 3 o'clock in the morning in a cold sweat because I have to give some presentation and I'm afraid I'm going to fail. I worry about paying the bills, about keeping the car running, about sending you to college. I mean, my God, Don, I have my share. But I don't come home and crawl into a bottle. I don't come home and light up a joint or snort coke, because even though my life is hard sometimes, I love being alive. I love living my life and dealing with those challenges. Even when I hate it, I love it. And I don't want to screw it up. So when I come home, I go running, or I take an aerobics class, or I play tennis with Janet. You've seen me do that. And you know what? It really works. That's the way that I've chosen to get rid of the anger and the frustration that I feel without hurting myself.
Well, maybe I can go with you sometime.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Well, thanks to our actors, we've just seen several communication skills that will help you get back in touch and in charge. But what else can be done? What help is there outside the home?
Well, most school districts don't really have a drug prevention program. However, several years ago, our district, at the insistence of parents, developed a program that is very unique, and it's one that supplements the work of the parent. We recognize that the church and the home are the primary sources of providing guidance to young people. However, the schools have to be involved in this too.
Another very strong and popular school assistance program is the peer counseling class. This is a confidential forum where high school students learn active listening skills and build their self-esteem in an atmosphere of mutual respect.
If you learn how to communicate with somebody in a controlled atmosphere, you learn how to control your emotions and how to talk with your parents. And if you learn in that controlled environment, I know that I feel more comfortable going home and talking to my mother if I know that someone that is one of my peers isn't going to laugh at me either.
The thing is, when people start to use drugs, drinking and getting high on a regular basis, conflicts, it's inevitable that conflicts will well up, okay? Relationships with friends, with parents, and especially with oneself become real unclear, real inconsistent. That's the key word, inconsistent. Okay, what peer counseling offers for these people is a consistent atmosphere with positive peer pressure, where the main focus is the expression of feelings. And that's what's so neat about peer counseling.
You know, what you just said has a lot of meaning to me, because I'm celebrating 6 months of sobriety this week.
All right.